What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sal, and I'm back at you again with another video. Folks, I told you that I was really serious about not making another video until my 120-day Iron Condor completed. The last video you saw from me was exactly 106 days ago. As I mentioned in my last live, I had took a 120-day trade about 2 weeks earlier, and I was a bit embarrassed, to say the least, because almost 2 weeks into the trade, I was still going live with a negative balance, and it was affecting my psyche. Having you guys come into the chat room and laugh at me because my Condor was doing what Condors do in the first 30 days, which is, for the most part, lose money. Uh, you know, Condors, particularly if you are well beyond, 90 days, do not, mature a lot of green in those initial 30 days. They're very sensitive. Why? Because the put side is just so much more expensive than the call side, right? If you do it right anyway. And going back to my particular position, and I'll show you what that position was. The puts were incredibly expensive compared to the call side. But when we look at, where the market was going, the clip and the pace, it became very clear to me that I can do a high probability iron condor with a bit of capital and earn a nice return on investment. In this situation, it was 11.8%, creating a $5,200 gain for me on what we already know is the fact that we live in a very low volatility a country, excuse me, with a stock market that has very low volatility. Let me say it better, right? Look at these developing countries. Look at Europe. Some of these places have markets that are 7, 8% up and down every day. We don't experience that kind of volatility. That's why we're the greatest market in the world to invest in if you've got significant amount of capital. And that's why, if you don't have a lot of capital, you should be investing in strategies that are very similar to individuals who have a lot of money. You should be doing iron condors. You should be selling options, not buying them for the most part. And if you are buying them, you should be buying far dated options that are deep in the money and give you a lot of time to be able to sit on the fact that, again, we live in a country where money loses value over time. So assets that are valuable actually end up going up in value naturally. The market is set up to make money over time. There's no reason for you to take same day bets, particularly if you're doing trades that have 20% probability of success, 10% probability of success, and that's buying directional options without any real assistance, right? I can understand if you're using software, aka blackboxstocks.us. But if you're not using software, if you're not using some kind of smart AI system to give you the trade, and you're just like, oh, okay, this looks like it's going up, click, that's not how to invest. All right. If you're like me and you're younger than 50 years old, you're looking to take risk. You're looking to because you want to position yourself to get rich. You want to position yourself to become a millionaire, right? So you've got to take trades that are risky but not stupid. Right? We don't want to take stupid trades. We want to take trades that will generate alpha in our accounts over time, and but allowing time to work for us because we, God willing, all plan to get old here, right? So does my trading strategy work not just this week or next month, but does it work for the next 30 years? Has it worked for 30 years? Right? Going back in time and putting together something that says, okay, can I go back in time and look and see how this strategy would have done in the past? And you do the math and you're like, whoa, okay, this thing works. This thing works if I'm patient. Yes, options lose value over time. And I see that we have relatively low volatility over time. Okay, so I should be selling options, not buying them. Okay, if I buy them, okay, I should buy them really deep in the money, or at least as deep as I can go, and then go as far out as I can go, because that's where the alpha is, right? Because the sooner to expiration I trade, the lower probability of success I have. The further out I go, the higher probability of success I have. We've got a market that's down for the month for the first time in a while. And if you follow my strategy, for those of you guys who are just on the crack and you just love the short dated stuff, you know we haven't had a week where we've lost more than 3% going back to January. So you could literally win every single week selling puts for 3% out. If you would have caught the low for the week, 2.5% from there, and then sold that every single week, you won a lot of money if that's just how you play it. So I think we just, and again, I don't want you to think of me as getting frustrated. I'm not. I mean, this was a spiritual experience. This was an experience of empowerment. Okay, this wasn't, you know, I wasn't having a heart attack. I wasn't. No, this was a journey. This is a beautiful thing when you can make money and you don't have any. I don't have any inventory. I don't have any employees or any. I'm just literally sitting back and watching these expensive derivatives go to zero over time as they are made to do so. You've got a market literally created to feed the wealthy over time, just more, more, more. And the average Joe is losing money every single day, taking same day positional trades that earn them no money. And I can give out the game because 90% of people who are watching won't take it. So it won't use it. So it doesn't matter. I don't, some people say, oh, you shouldn't have gave out the 3%. It doesn't matter. It's been almost 2 years now since I've put those videos out there. Everybody knows about it now, or at least everybody who watches my thing knows about it. Nothing's changed. There's still more than enough money out there for everybody. They don't care. I don't care anymore about when it's all going to fall apart and when it's all going to go. No, look, these are very valuable entities. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, all these companies that make up the S&P 500, they're valuable entities. They've got very smart, intelligent people working for these companies. These are real, tangible assets that millions of people around the world invest in. And you've got to get it out of your mind, like I had to get it out of my mind, that it's kind of like a zero sum game that you can wake up in the morning and all this will go to zero. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. Particularly if you believe in this country, if you believe in people, you know, you believe in the game, and a lot of people believe in the game. There are a lot more people who believe in it and who compared to who don't. And the believers keep it going. The system is bigger than you are, and you've got to roll with it, not roll against it. The bears have been crushed. If I was still a bear, I'm going to tell you right now, if I was still a bear, I would have done killed myself a long time ago. Because there's no way, one, I'd still be in the game. And number two, you just got to be like, this can never end. And you're right, it can never end. Because at the end of the day, there's no country that can print anything as valuable as the currency that we have here in America. We've got a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin, which is basically underbellied by a scam called Tether. That's a whole different video. In the end, I just kind of wanted to say that, folks, you really need to start thinking about selling options instead of buying them. If you're buying them, you got to buy them deep and you got to buy them far out. That's the only real way you're going to make a big shitload of money. That's the only way you're going to make a big load of money. But I'm telling you right now, 120 days is the new 60 days for me. You're going to be able to really do those kind of trades 3 times a year, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. If you're telling me based on, you know, a couple $1,000s, well, not a lot, that you can be earning, just over 15 grand a year. I don't want to say passively because I don't believe anything about investing is passive, right? The markets move every single day. You're actively in the market, but you're making this kind of money sitting on your ass, right? Every year, then reinvesting every year. I think that's a beautiful return on investment when we talk about, uh, over a 30-year lifetime of investing, right? For those of you guys who are under 50 years old, you got, another 30 years of life left if you're 49 years old, more than likely, right? You doing a trade like you're gonna have an amazing life, right? You're gonna have an amazing life when you decide to hey, maybe I'm done. Let me pull it all out. You've been doing it for 20 years, and again, we're not talking about setting. You're following the trend, right? We're not just slapping on the same thing every single month. We're actually actively looking at where the markets are likely to be and creating a strategy beyond that. And again, probabilities are going to change on a monthly basis. This time we wanted basically 90%. Next month, maybe I want 85. Maybe I want 75, right? Maybe I want 60. Now, then we're talking about a much bigger return on investment, right? So the lower the probabilities we're willing to take, the higher return, the higher the probability of the lower return. So it all depends on what you want to be. You get to choose how much you want to win. And you can only do that by selling options, not buying them. Anyway, I don't want to keep this video too long. Folks, this is, again, a spiritual experience for me. I'm not going to quote Bible verses, but boy, you want to talk about the first 30 days when this, folks, there was a time where, you know, after my last video, I don't know what the options were doing because I know they weren't as liquid as they were until a little bit later, but um, that I woke up, I was like down 2,500. You know what I'm saying? And when that's happening and you haven't done anything, but it's just the liquidity, just liquidity doing its thing, and you just kind of know that this is where the market, this is what happens in the market. And let me just kind of show you how wide this thing was because I don't want you to come away thinking that you know this is where we were, right? So basically, I was betting that the market was going to stay between these calls and these puts here, right? Very comfortable about possible, uh, not a crash happening, but we knew that the market was moving at a very nice clip. But at the same time, a cure for COVID could happen, and I wanted to give myself some room just in case a miracle cure came out and the market started running. All right. And in that case, that actually would have worked out best for me because those puts would have definitely started getting real light and I would have been able to take some profit possibly early. But it just never ended up materializing. And the sell-off actually started helping me as we got to expiration. But this trade has pretty much been done for the last week and a half. Really the last 2 weeks, to be honest with you. I could have closed out, but I really wanted to get to the last day because I wanted to document this for myself. And I wanted to document this for future traders, but something that I can come back to when I've got a lot more gray hair and say, I think this was the beginning of something real for me, something real for me, and understanding that, time and money, time and money, time and money, time and money. That's been the secret the whole time. That's been the secret of the whole time. I mean, the you know the guru out in Omaha, it's in plain sight. It's in plain sight, and we've been completely dumb to it. But it's been plain sight. Now he doesn't like derivatives. I like derivatives, right? Because I'm not a multi-millionaire. I can't go out and buy 200,000 shares. So I need the leverage. But you can play the leverage the smart way. Not going to reiterate everything. You can play the leverage the smart way. Look out for more videos very soon. We're going to get back talking to some trash penny stocks out there. A lot of you guys have lost money in AME and a lot of these. I can't believe they're still. Some people just got to lose the hard way, man. Some people just got to keep losing the hard way. And that's fine. But let me tell you something. You can laugh at the fact that it's only 1,700 or so dollars a month for the last, you know, 4 months, or 3 months, or whatever it was. Uh, I know I misspoke on that, but folks, you know, you know, I gotta, 13, excuse me, 13 something. Uh, but there are a lot of people who ain't making that, man. A lot of people ain't making that. A lot of people got whole big old YouTube channels where they ain't really putting no money in your pocket like that every month with very low risk. And you could have taken this trade with very little capital. Again, you didn't have to go 100 wide. You don't have to go, excuse me, you don't have to go 50 wide. I want to make that clear. That went 100. Nobody's got to go 100 wide. All right, you do 100 wide because you got the capital to do it. Anyway, it's your boy Sal. Until next time, trade well.